Hey guys, this is Hung Mai, Doctor of Audiology at Ample Hearing. In this video, I'm going to reveal the new Signia Pure Charging Go IX. I'm going to go over what's new, what's good, and what makes it stand out from other hearing aids. The new IX stands for Integrated Experience. It's Signia's latest platform that integrates their previous and newest technology in order to help people hear better in one of the most challenging situations, group conversation in noise. And so the highlight of this new technology is a feature called Real Time Conversation Enhancement. In a nutshell, it's Signia's latest algorithm that uses advanced beamformers to locate and focus on different speech around you. And then it'll use motion sensors to track the speech so that it's easier to follow. According to Signia, the new chip is able to process 192,000 data points per second in order to constantly analyze the situation. So it'll start off by trying to figure out what speech around you is relevant, and it does this based on distance. The effective distance for this to work well is within 6 feet, because according to Signia, that's about the average comfortable distance when you're in a small group. And then it'll augment the sound, meaning that it'll process it in a way to help you hear clearer based on your hearing loss, and then also adapt to the constant changes within the group. As we all know, group conversations can be very dynamic. A speech may not be always in front of you. It can also come from different direction, and people could be moving around, make it even more challenging. The whole goal of this is to help make group conversation feel more immersive, so that even when people are moving around or when you're moving your head, you're still able to follow the conversation with less effort. Working behind the scenes with the new technology is Signia Split Processing. Split processing was introduced to Signia's previous platform about 2 years ago. In a nutshell, split processing will take in the sound and split it into two separate processors, one for speech and the other one for background noise. Speech will be processed loudly and clearly, while the background noise will be processed with more compression so that it's still audible but not too distracting. Then it'll combine both processed sound back together to provide a clean sound with a contrast between the speech and the background noise. Another unique feature to Signia is own voice processing, which reduces the loudness of your own voice so that it's more comfortable when you're speaking. That's one of the hardest things to adapt to for new hearing aid user is to tolerate their own voice as they're talking, because they can hear their own voice being re-amplified through the hearing aid. It kind of feels like they're talking on a microphone, and it does take some time to adapt to it. And your hearing care provider can run a quick test that takes about 20 seconds during the fitting process to measure the distance between your voice to the microphone, and your hearing aid will automatically reduce it down to make it more comfortable and making it faster for you to acclimate or get used to it. Another useful feature is Echo Shield that reduces the echoes in situations where there's a lot of hard surfaces. Echoes in a room can make sound muffled and hard to understand, so Auto Echo Shield will sharpen it up to make it clearer. There's 3 technology levels, the 7, 5, and 3iX. In general, the higher the technology level, the more feature it has. The more we can fine-tune the sound to meet your hearing loss, the better it will perform in noise, and the more automatic that it can adapt into different listening situations. But starting with the premium level, level 7iX, this one has all the features and most ideal for the most active person. In a group situation, the level 7iX can focus and track 3 different people. Also, when you go to a place with a lot of reverberation or echoes, it will also automatically activate the Echo Shield mode. And if you go to, and when you're driving, it will also automatically activate the spatial speech focus so you can hear voices coming from different directions while you're driving. It also has an extended bandwidth, meaning that it can provide you even more details or clarity in the very high frequency beyond the 8,000 Hertz, more so than the other levels. Next level down is the 5iX. This one's the advanced level. Also good for the more active users, but who may not want all the bells and whistles. In a group conversation, the level 5iX can focus and track on one person, as opposed to the 3 people in the premium level. It also has Echo Shield and spatial speech focus, but it's not automatic. You would have to manually activate it by pushing on the button on the back of the hearing aid or through the app. And finally, the level 3 IX is your standard level. This one is good for someone who may not be as active but still want a quality sound. The 3IX cannot track or focus on different speech in a group conversation. It also does not have echo shield and does not have the spatial speech focus, but it does have the split processing to help you out in very noisy places. So if you were to get the pure IX and you want to take advantage of the new feature, the Real Time Conversation Enhancement, then the level 7 and the level 5 IX is the way to go, because those are the two that can track and focus on different speech. Sound quality can be hard to describe because sound quality is subjective. A lot of it depends on how much hearing loss the person has, but also how well the hearing aid was fitted for the ear. But with a good fitting Signia hearing aid, I often hear people describe it as a very clean sound, and it can be very sharp. Well, sharpness can also be a double-edged sword, because with a good fitting, it can provide good clarity. But with a poor fitting, too sharp can make it sound too tinny or too metallic. But I do appreciate that with Signia, I'm able to boost a lot of the high frequency without distortion or feedback, which is great for one of the most common type of hearing loss, the high frequency hearing loss. Another description I often hear is that Signia is very quiet. In a quiet room with the hearing aid on, I can barely tell the hearing aid is even on because of the low circuit noise. So now let's take a look at the outside. The body looks almost identical to the previous generation. There's two options that's nearly the same size. The one on the right that's slightly bigger is the Pure Charge and Go T, which has a telecoil in it. The left slightly smaller one does not have a telecoil. The only subtle change is their new round buttons designed for a more tactile feel for easier pushing. It's also one of the smallest rechargeable hearing aid in the market, and even with my smaller ears, it's pretty discreet, don't you think? It comes in a variety of nice colors to blend in with your hair or your skin tone. My personal favorites are the dark champagne, graphite, and rose gold. The Pure Charge and Go only come as rechargeable using lithium-ion batteries that'll provide a full day of use with a full charge. And there's plenty of options, from the standard desktop to the portable premium charger, which has an internal battery that can provide 3 or 4 extra days of charging without plugging it in. There's also the larger dry and clean charger that also sanitizes your hearing aids while it's charging. So plenty of nice options. Then there's the Signia app that gives you control of basic sound adjustments. What I like about Signia's app is it has a very simple interface. It's easy to use for those who struggle with technology. One tool that it lacks though is the Find My Hearing Aid tool to help you find a lost hearing aid, which other hearing aid apps have. But besides that, it's a pretty decent app. It's Bluetooth compatible with most Apple iPhones and some of the Androids. For a list of all the compatible phones, click on the link in the description below. Users can stream phone calls, music, or any other media from your smartphone wirelessly to your hearing aids. There's also two-way audio for iPhone 11 or newer, which uses a microphone in the hearing aid itself to pick up your own voice when you're on a phone call so that you don't have to hold the phone near your mouth. Essentially hands-free phone calls. So all in all, I'm excited with what Signia brings to the table. With new features like the Real Time Conversation Enhancement designed to help people hear even easier in group conversations, I'm interested to see how well people do with it in the real world. But no matter how awesome the technology is, the hearing aid could only be as effective as how well it's fitted for your ears. And the best way to do that is through a procedure called real ear measurements, which is performed during your fitting appointment. Your hearing care provider can put a little tiny wire that acts like a microphone to measure the sound of the hearing aids in your ear so they can adjust the sound specifically for your hearing loss needs. After all, your hearing loss and your ear canal shape and size are unique, and so the real ear measurements can ensure that you're getting the most benefit out of your hearing aids. Alright, so I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you for following along. I hope you found this helpful, and if you did, I would appreciate it if you click the like and subscribe button below for future hearing care content. Alright guys, until next time.